This is Mr. Mulvihill coming at you from the online math classroom. I'm very excited to start. I know this is very, very different for all of us, and I already thank you for taking on a brave face and trying learning this way. So it's definitely going to be a little bit different. I do want to go over a couple things before we get started with the day. You are going to be asked to keep a journal, whether you're printing this out or you are writing on loose leaf, of the things we're doing. So I'm not going to make you write everything down, but if I do tell you to write something down, then that is what I expect you to write down. There are going to be points in this video every day that we have that we would normally have math. There will be a video to do, and I'm going to want you guys to pause the video. If I say pause it, try some practice questions, and then resume it to see if you get them right. At the end of the video, there will be an assignment for you guys to try, and that will be considered the fulfillment on your end of learning the material. I hope to keep the videos relatively short, but we do have new content to learn. We aren't going to be going backwards, we're going to be moving forwards, and taking everything that we've done in class and pretty much doing the same thing online. Is it ideal? No, but this is the hand we're dealt, and we're going to do the best we can with it. So as you see here, March 16th, solving percent questions a new way. That's going to be the topic you see for today. I do want you to write that down. First day, online learning, here we go. You guys have the bell ringer to try too, so after you write the date down, I want you to try that bell ringer and pause the video now. Try the bell ringer, see what our answers are. Okay, so for the bell ringer, converting decimals into percents. These are all decimals, we're going to make them percents, and the surefire way to do that is multiply by 100. So you take 0.14, multiply 100, you get 14%. You take 0.9, multiply by 100, get 90%. 0.285, multiply by 100, and you get 28.5%. And then you can do 1.125 times 100, and you should get 125%. For these questions, percent to decimal, you're going to be dividing by 100. It's the opposite. Instead of going from decimal to percent, we're going percent to decimal, so we do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. 35 divided by 100 is 0.35. 17.5 divided by 100 is 0.175. This should be 0.8 or 0.80 or 0.8, 8 tenths, they all work. And this one should be 1.05. Again, 105 divided by 100. Okay, so for these questions here, they're very important. Being able to go from percent to decimal and decimal to percent. It is also the main thing we're going to be doing today for the new way. So I'm actually going to give you a few more questions to try just to make sure we really, really know how to do this. So what you do is to convert 43% to a decimal. I want you to convert 6.2% to a decimal, and I want you to convert 110% to a decimal. Go ahead, pause the video, and try that. Alright, percent to a decimal, 43 divided by 100. You should get 0.43. 6.2%, you should get 0.062, and 110%, you should get 1.1, or 1.10. And there we go. That's our bell ringer today, just like normal. We're going to have some bell ringers. The only difference is your bell ringer might be taking place at 10 a.m. and someone else's may be taking place at 1:30. However you do this, that's up to you, but like we talked about, setting a time for yourself to do your math will be a great idea. Okay, here, so let's see, solving percent problems the old way. we're going to do the old way first, and then we're going to learn the new way. So let's read this question. A new tank top at the mall originally cost $30. Alright, not bad. However, you have a 20% off coupon that you plan on using. Okay. What will be the new price of the tank top? Show work. Here's the first way. We've done this before. You guys are probably already doing it. You can go ahead and do it along with me, or even pause it if you want. But this is how we would do this last week. We would take our 20% written as a decimal, 0.20. So we do 0.20 times our amount, which is 30, and that will give us 6. But 6 isn't our answer. That's just how much we're going to take off. It's a coupon. So we're going to take $6 off. So our real amount will be 30 minus 6. And that will give us 24. If you got that, good job. Here's the second old way we've done this. This is definitely a throwback. This is when we did the bar model. So draw a nice bar model for yourself here. 10 equal parts. Yours will probably look better than mine. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 0%, 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And the total price of the shirt, so the full length of the shirt, if you were paying for the whole thing, 100% of it would be $30. The 0% would be 0, so each 10% block should be 3, because 30 divided by 10 is 3. And then we know that the shirt is 20% off, so you could take this first 20%, these two blocks, shade that, get your answer of 6, and do 30 minus 6 equals 24. Get your answer that way. Or you can do the other way we sort of talked about it, and this is what leads us into today's lesson. So, instead of taking 20% and then subtracting, what you could really do is take off 20% from the whole. So take off this 20%, this 10%. Take off another 10%. So you're really only paying for this. You're really only paying for 80% of it. And 80% of 30 is 24. And that, when you take stuff away and you just get that new percentage, that is what we're going to be doing today. It's 0.8 times 30. Do that in your calculator. If you don't have a calculator on you, get your phone, get something, type it in, pause the video, do what you got to do. You should get 24. So, this is the new way. Hey, why do we have to do it this new way? Well, trust me, we're going to want it when things get a little more difficult. So here are the steps for the new way. You're going to want to write this down. Like I said, some things you got to write down. This is definitely one of them. So, if we look right here, we have to determine if it's a markup, markdown, or just a percent of something. So in this question, it was 20% off. So that was a markdown. This was a markdown question in reference to this question right here. So then, if it's a markdown, we can pretty much go to step 3, because step 2 is just talking about markup. So a markdown says, okay, you're going to subtract the markdown percent from 100, change to a decimal, and multiply. So the markdown percent was 20 in the question above. We're going to subtract that from 100%. That gives us 80%. like we got right there. And okay, so we did the subtraction part. Now it says change to a decimal. Okay, so 80% of the decimal. We just did this in the bell ringer. We should be good. It should be 0.8. And then we're going to do the last step, multiply. So we're going to do 0.8 times our normal price of 30. You type that in your calculator, and you get 24. And that is the new way that we'll be practicing today. So again, to recap, you're going to get your new percent, and then you're going to multiply by your original number. That's basically how we do it. So what I want you guys to do is either a couple things. If you're not feeling comfortable with this, if you need to see this one more time, I'm going to do one more practice here.